Tuesday afternoon. Now, I promised you I would be back if there's any news at all, and there is some news. Some breaking news, and I'll tell you where it's about. I promise you, this is not a clickbait thumbnail and title. I genuinely have to report the news and don't shoot the messenger. I'm just bringing to you what I've read and now what's coming out from a lot of outlets, and we can start to talk about that. I'll tell you where this is coming from as well. So I just thought we absolutely have to bring this, and I absolutely have to report this. I absolutely despise what I'm about to say. You know how I feel about the situation. You know what we spoke about today. And well, one of the things that I said today was I felt like Ruben Amorim is already gone. I'm Amorim in. I know many of you are Amorim in, Amorim out today as well. So for me, I think this is something that I need to bring into the show. I need to talk about this today. This is just broken today. So I think that we really need to bring this into the show. Let me know your comments. Let me know where you're coming from in the world today. So let's just get on with it. So according to reports today, and I'll tell you where this is coming from as well. Now you can believe this or not. This is a Indicator News. Now in Indicator News, you can take it for what you will. This is now coming out there from other sources, and you can dispute these other sources as well, you know. But this is what's coming out today. It's from Indicator News. Now, I'd like to think that they're not stupid enough to put this out there without some sort of something's been told. If they pluck this out of their arse, then I absolutely. Now I'm kind of don't really want to talk about this, but I'm just going to have to get on with it. So according to today, and I will read this out word for word as well. So according to Indicator News, Blue Wave Store, hello my friend, a secret operation called International Reset is in play. Senior players are expecting the sack news. Now that just makes me feel sick straight away. According to sources at United, have a secret plan to sack Ruben Amorim in the October international, or if the results don't improve. There are even secrets outlining the next steps. Blue Wave Store, do you know what I'll do? Right, because this channel is about the community. So a shout out to Blue Wave Stores. So Blue Wave Stores, it's an online marketplace where you can buy and sell used items. Don't forget us if you ever want to do a sponsored shout out on here. If you want to give me a QR code or something, I'll happily bring it into one of the shows. Contact me via Outlook, contact the show, and maybe we can arrange some stuff. So happy to help out. Fraser Allen, honestly, Fraser, mate, it's really easy. Don't be salty, my friend. Give you a donation if you win the roast battle. You're gone as well, mate. It's really easy to get rid of these absolute wallies in the chat. See you later. Oh, 7th of October. You're really lovely. We've definitely got the definitely got some very not nice people in here today. Artistic Football Edits says hi. Hello, my friend. Yeah, 7th of October. That's not very nice, is it? Yeah, we'll see you later. Do you play? Honestly, I do not know what is up with this chat today. What's happening a little earlier. So just for the laugh, I'm going to finish reading this out. Not Civic. My name is hello, sir. My name is Nick. Yeah, Nick. Do you really think that I'm going to fall for that one? Honestly, what is, I don't know what's going on with the chat today. Have you ever played? Wow, wow. You guys are on it today, aren't you? So on the board, going to do something brave before a big home game. As Ruben kicked off with Brada and Wilcox. What are you hearing? It's going to be sacked. So I will read where this is coming from. Let me know what you think about this. I can only tell you, and this is coming from lots of different sources, but I will read where this has come from, and you can tell me, and I'll give you my thoughts on it as well. So in the Daily News on X, apparently there's a secret operation called International Reset. Senior players expect the sack news, which I think is disgusting. 8-ball, the snitch, mate. It's really easy, mate. Really easy. Really simple. According to the sources that Man United have secret plans to sack Ruben Amorim in the October international break, or if the results don't improve. There are several secrets outlining the next steps. Once the decision is made, it seems like certain senior players are already anticipating his exit, which adds a layer of tension to the squad. As exclusively revealed by us already, the club has a shortlist of Glasner and Arola. Tensions are at the boiling point in the boardroom. Genuinely, I don't know what is going on with the chat today. No idea. Secret operation. They give it a title. Who are these clowns? If you're going to sack a person, you don't need to give it a code. It's like a military operation. Aggregated nonsense, mate. So yeah, I don't think it is, mate. I'll read you the line for me. I'm homeless. Can me and my cat move in? No, I don't think my wife would be too impressed with that. So probably not. He won't be sacked. They will back him until the end. So what's really funny now, Ensteer, is that people are on here and been itching for him to get sacked. Right? Absolutely itching for him to get sacked. And now people don't want him to get sacked. Now you know are gonna keep him until the end. Skinny Bob, it's time to go. You can move in with me, Piper. Operation Abort the Portuguese fraud, initiated by the board. Stage 1 is prepared. The severance paid package. Let's have a look. Poor old mates. So I'm going to read a bit again, which I'm gonna go back to what Isaiah said. I'm not bothered either way, as I'm not a United fan, but I think you deserve a better manager. Red Devil Rose, he's not getting sacked. Sorry to disappoint. Ineos will cover from it. Now, just to let you know in the chat, I'm Amorim in. And if you've not watched the channel before, watch the videos that about that. I have been absolutely battered by this chat at times because I am Amorim in, and I've defended this manager because I don't believe in Ineos. I can't stand them. I believe more so in Amorim. I don't think it's fair, and I've outlined that many times. Now, I'll tell you the one bit in here. Not Brett May. I knew you'd be on here, my friend. Yeah, the United Devil, who out of these managers would your ideal place manager be? I don't want him sacked. So I am going to refrain from answering that slightly because I still don't want him sacked. Now, I tell you, there's a line in here for me. Don't forget to get in through the chat. House Tricks, has Tom found you yet? So let's get on to this. So according to our sources, this is in Decatur. According to our sources, that United have secret plans to sack Amorim in the October international break, or if the results don't improve. This is why I'm at right. I think indicators typically talk through their arse. But do I believe there's truth in this? Yes. Now, as I've said, I've got to play the both sides. I don't want him sacked. And if you watch the previous stream that I did this morning on this, I do not want Amorim sacked. And there are a couple of lines in here that absolutely disgust me if they're true. Senior players expect the sack news. The tensions. It says that senior players are anticipating his exit. Now, I think that's absolutely. Oh yeah, Tom. Removed all of his videos. The man's living off a result of his sporting from 3 years ago. I'll come on to why I'm in. But let's take away that for a second, right? How many managers have these players sacked? Now, you can say to me, these are not the same players. There are some of these players that are still here. These players are fucking cretins, and I just need to say this. So Danny B is in the chat. Big up yourself, legend of the chat now. So Red Devil Rose, United might be making certain plans in case he walks. I don't believe he will get sacked. It will ruin Ineos' credibility and cost a fortune, which United don't have. I'm with you on the fact that I agree we cannot sack this manager for all of those reasons completely. I should tell you for where I am on this subject. The reason why I don't want this manager sacked, because this is not on the coach. How can you bring in a coach with this team that is basically a mishmash of other people's players? You bring in a specialist coach. Ask him to play his specialist system with these players. These players are not his. He didn't want to come in until this season. Last season was not on him. He's got low IQ, low mentality players, as it's been proven now that these these cretins, these low-life players want this manager gone. Yet again, they don't get their own way. They're not happy, so they're pushing for this manager to go. I'm with you. I don't think that he should be sacked. I don't think that it will cost us a fortune. And the next coach, what's he going to do? He's not going to get time. He's not going to get his new players. Last season was not on the manager. We talk about formation and the tactics. It's not any of those things. It is this. It is this board. It is these players. Now, we talk about Ineos, right? Look at what they've done at Nice. They are replicating exactly what they've done at Nice. Ineos are scum. Ineos are the downfall of this club. They're enemies at this club. And this whole football excellence is a load of nonsense. So what they're going to do, what they've done is they've hired a manager. My whole argument for this is that why bring in this manager who plays a completely different system? You don't have the players to play the system that he wants. He's a specialist player. Don't bring him in. I do not understand why they brought this manager in. And we spoke about this morning about player signings. Now, people are adamant that Amorim signed these players. It was Amorim who had it was Amorim who signed these players. It was Amorim who picked these players, these three players, which is the stick that I knew that people would come back with. It's simply not true. Amorim had an opinion on these players, but it was the football. It was Ineos. Let's be having this right. Ineos decided on these players. It was a collective decision. Ruben was part of that, but it is this board buys the players and Ruben coaches these players. They've got these players in. They've got 4 players in. Well, they've got 3 players in. Amorim wanted a CM. I believe he thought the whole way that he was going to get a CM. These players are not his. They finished 15th last season. They've improved 3 positions. You can argue one of which that they didn't need to improve. They've let him down on the goalkeeper. They've let him down on the squad, and they've given him 4 games, and they're going to sack him based upon the performances of these players. It is not tactics. It is not formations. Now, to go back on what indicator I've said, senior players are expecting the manager to get sacked. How disgusting is that again? Now, whether you dislike Amorim, and again, I read your comments out because I respect your comments, and I'm not going to hide from certain things. Okay, Amorim has got some things wrong, but reading that, his players are expecting him to get sacked, and the players are already anticipating his exit. Are you telling me that these players are not going to throw another manager after this guy under the bus again? They're going to keep on throwing managers under the bus. My message to these players are: you are a fucking waste of time. And I exclude Cunha. I exclude the new players. But you are absolute cretins. You know, are they so sheltered from the outside world? Yet again, another manager is being blamed for the failures of this football club. The Glazers have not been mentioned. Sir Jim has not been mentioned. The fact that this fucking idiot expects top 4 with the team that Amorim didn't build, that finished 15th last season. How is it Amorim's fault? And I am not Amorim out. I am Amorim in. So this post today absolutely infuriates me. It makes me sad. And reading the fact that these players, these senior players, are expecting and already anticipating the manager's exit. The Grimsby result is not on him. The Grimsby result is on these players. Now, if I was Amorim, I'd walk. Do I believe that there's truth in this? I do. Do I think that if Amorim goes on and beats Chelsea, goes on and beats Sunderland, and goes on and beats, I can't remember who the other game is, will he save his job? I don't think he will. I said this morning. I believe that his job, I think the Grimsby result not only hurt the club, but hurt him as well. So I think these players were now down tools. I think these utterly wasteless, and again, I do exclude some players from this. I absolutely cannot believe that these absolute waste of space. I've got no words for these players. Again and again and again, they let managers down, and they're going to down tools again. And I don't care if you put in Glasner, I don't care if you put in Arola, I don't care if you put in Xavi, Zidane. Nobody is going to get time at this club. And I guarantee all you lot, not all of you, but a big majority of you, will be here again, moaning next season when this team finishes 13th. So imagine if Glasner comes into this team now and we finish 15th and he doesn't make a signing. Whose fault is that? Is that his fault? And we're going to be back here again. There's going to come no good when this happens. And do I think that Amorim will get sacked? Probably. Do I think he's going to walk? Potentially. If the Chelsea result goes tits up, he's going to walk 100%. Yep, sack Amorim, but who will replace him? Zia says, I bet we beat Chelsea but lose to Brentford, and that will be that. Fergie was stubborn but had adapted. He moved from 4-4-2 to 4-3-3. I wonder who will get the job. 35 watching, please hit the like button. Exactly. I don't like you. So Joachim, mate, in life you can't like everybody. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but it's really easy to say when you're hiding behind an account. So, you know, that's not a nice thing to say, mate, is it? This makes me happy. It really does. Do the majority of fan base want to keep him still? I don't know. I really don't know. I think that there's definitely a rift in this fan base. When this happens, and I'm Amorim him, but I am resigned to the fact that he's going to go. And the reason why I say this, now people will point to Fergie, that he had time and he saved his job thanks to an FA Cup goal right? The difference is those players didn't down tools. These players will down tools, and Amorim will get sacked. So you can absolutely see what's going to happen now. Amorim is going to get sacked because these players will down tools. What I hope for the Chelsea game is that Bruno Fernandes gets dropped. I hope he drops all these players who are not going to play for him, and I would just play youth. I would just play whatever players are fit that I know will run through brick walls for me, put them in the right positions, and I would drop as many of these senior scumbag players as possible to attempt to at least not to make this happen. People wanted a named manager. Slot was a well-known manager and did sort of okay last season. We don't have a good fielder. It's ranked 13th in the league, and it's important in the 3-4-3 system. So once we improve the midfield, we play better. It's just my opinion. Instead, Amorim is not going to get the time. He's not going to get the time, and I wish right now that I could give people hope who are like me and are Amorim in. I think it's a ludicrous that he's in trouble after 4 games. Last season was not on him. I think I'm just resigned to the fact again that we're going to write off yet another season. Now, how do people feel about that? Like, how do people feel about writing off yet another season? Because Cristiano IND says players' mentality is over. Also, Ahmad is ass. Thank you for the super chat there, my friend. Cristiano Ronaldo IND. Appreciate that, my friend. I worry about this club. I really, really do. So get back to the chat, guys. Let's get in there. Don't move. I'm almost finished. Lovely. Thank you, Karan. I'm glad I can be inspiration to you. I'll get through some more of these chats, and then I'll go back through the statement as well. Declan Fox, relegation shall wonder who is BR first game next year in the Championship. Red Devil Rose. The only thing that frustrates me about Amorim is the Bruno thing. I agree with you. Appreciate he tried it with the players we have in midfield, but it doesn't work. He's a number 10, too much of a creative. Agree with you. I think Amorim's mistake, and as I said at the start of this, in fact I said this back in July, the videos are there. Amorim is going to live or die on keeping Bruno Fernandes. You cannot trust these players. I've said it throughout pre-season. I'm going to do a video of the things that I've said, right? You cannot trust these players, and Amorim was going to live or die on the Fernandes and what he did with him. And it's going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass. United should have hired someone like Santo or Silva to steady the ship. Control, Alt, Delete. Sophia Stockwell, this is serious conversation, so don't make fun because you support Liverpool or someone else. Zidane, I don't rate as manager. I could see Nuno. Might be in the playoff final, a couple of million. You'll get rid of him and replace him with someone like Nuno. Declan Fox, Garner to score the winner. Mate, I'd rather have Jose back. Nuno did okay at Forest, but not Spurs. Stuart Douglas, Amorim to be sacked, says who right now. So Stuart, again, I'll come back into. I'll give you where it's come from. I'll give you my opinion on it. So it's coming from Indicator News on X. Now, you can like them, loathe them. They've put this out today. I'll give you it. Do I think there's truth in it? Yes, I do. This morning's show, as I've said, I do believe he's going to go, or he's going to walk, and I'll tell you where this is from. And it says secret operation. So this is one of the most disgusting posts I've ever seen. And if this is from the club, this is absolutely disgusting. So secret operation called International Reset in play. According to our sources at United, have secret plans to sack Amorim in the October in the October international break, or if the results don't improve. Now there's the little caveat thing there, right? So there's the for those of you like me who are skeptical. Now I just have to report this. This has come out. This is a big, massive thing, and I have to come out and I have to say this to you guys. So that for me is the statement there that puts a little bit of pay to this. Is that Ruben Amorim? They plan to sack him in October international break, or if the results do not improve. There are documents outlining the next step. The decision is made. It seems like certain senior players are already anticipating his exit, which adds a layer of tension to the squad. As exclusively revealed by us, the club has shortlisted already names like Glasner and Arola. The tensions are at a bad point in the boardroom. Now, how disgusting is that? Now, you may disagree with that statement. So the two things for me is, number one, the seeds of doubt, but again, I have to come on and I have to tell you this. Secret plans to sack Amorim. Why would, if these are secret plans, why would a news outlet like this, who are known for talking crap, why would they let these secret plans slip here, right? Fine. And then they go on to say that he'll be sacked in the October international break, or if the results don't improve. So they've covered their arse there a bit. Now, I do think there is truth in this. I believe if Amorim gets absolutely tanked by Chelsea, I think he's gone. If he gets tanked, if he doesn't get tanked and he loses one of the next two games, so basically, in my opinion, Amorim has got 3 games to save his job. Otherwise, I think he gets sacked or he walks in the next international break. And I've said that. I've also said previously that I think we get 8 points from 8, and Liverpool is where he gets sacked. Now, I am Amorim just for the record, as I've said yesterday, today on this stream, I am Amorim. But this is where we are now. We are coming to this, where there are media reports. And the most disgusting thing for me, whether we agree that Amorim is in, or how disgusting is it that players are going to get yet another manager sacked. Now, whether you agree with that or not, I mean, you can't trust these players. PD Product says, so you trolls want to make fun from behind the keyboards. Trust me, if me and my man here met you street, you wouldn't say a word. I agree with you. Breaking news, more like breaking opinion. Stuart, that's your opinion, my friend. This isn't my opinion. This isn't my opinion. I'm not plucking this from my arse. This will be reported by the United stand tonight. I guarantee it. This will be reported by so many other outlets tonight that there is truth in this. I absolutely have no inkling. I've actually have no problem. I am not reporting this and saying it. I don't want this to happen. I am not on board with this at all. This is now, they are engineering Amorim out. This is coming from the players. The players want this coach out. I think indicator talk out of their arse, but there is some truth in this. These players are yet again engineering this manager out. Do I think there's truth in this? Yes, I do. Do I think they've had an exclusive? No, I don't. I agree slightly with Stuart that this is a educated guess from them. There is no way that United or anyone at that club give them secret talks. If this comes out and this is true, Amorim will walk. But you expect that the squad's down tools. I mean, look who your captain is. Amorim is stubborn. I've never seen a coach that is so rigid as him. The constant choice of Bruno at 6 will be his downfall. Katlia, Eric Ten Hag, just as stubborn. So go and watch another channel. The kid, if you don't like this one, I want to troll. Thank you, PD. At least before Ferguson, we played well and won a trophy. I can bench 70 kilos, so I don't think you'd win. With big Ron Atkinson, it is written off already when we never signed a midfielder as a first choice keeper. Okay. Exactly, Danny B. Get into likes, guys. Give us a like, favorite, and subscribe. It really does. It really does help the channel out. Now, I know there's some frustration. I think the amount of toxicity today. I think from what I've spoken to you guys about, I do think that there has definitely been a shift. Sad, mate. I'm a fan since 77. So Declan Fox, I'd be gutted. I'm gutted on this news. Even if let me play the both sides on this one. His fan says, should Jim has said he demands Champions League, he might as well be in the upside down having breakfast with Vecna. This is a level of delusion. I agree with you. Tabs, Brian, Amorim is not the problem. The players do not follow the system and they are stuck in no man's land. Tabs, Brian, agree with you, my friend. Following since the good days and bad days, mate did last 10 years of agony. Amorim has to play 4-3-3 now or lose his job. So Jim, if we're not in contention for Champions League, he'll be sacked. And he's fan. I don't think, mate. I don't think he makes it. I am the staunchest of Amorim inners. I'm the biggest. I am probably one of the biggest. Can't think of the word now, but I want the Glazers out. I don't support the Glazers. I don't support Ineos. Amorim's gone. I can't get away from it. And if you watch the stream this morning, I've already said this. Before this come out today. I believe that Amorim's gone. I believe that the Grimsby game was not the nail in the coffin for him in terms of results. I think for him personally, I think he knows the squad doesn't back him, and they've done it again. They're going to get another manager sacked, and I'm absolutely just gutted. You see the other podcast, mate, Talk Sport, are having a good laugh. Mate, it is disgusting. It is. I'm absolutely disgusted by the media again. They wanted this guy out from the very start. They wanted him sacked. They wanted Amorim out. They wanted Amorim sacked. Literally from the very first time he came in to this club. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy until Southgate comes in to this club. They're not going to be happy, and even then, I guarantee the next coach who comes in to this club instantaneously, he will be. I want to see what are they going to do to fix this mess. Arsenal game kicked off. Had tickets for the Chelsea game. Don't know if I'll go now. Declan, mate, I would say to you, look, go, mate. Look, if you're Amorim in, right, I would go to support the manager. I think this fan base, if you're an Amorim in like I am, I think you should go. I think you should support this manager. Let him know, and let these fucking wasted players know that I don't support these players. I think they'll time and time again will let this club down. The manager takes the brunt. The board didn't get him his players, and yet again, it's the manager's thrown underneath the bus. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Like, the media are against him. The fans have now. Some of the fans have turned on him. It is, and we wonder why. And we wonder why we fail. And we wonder why these players continue to behave in the way that they do, because they're not punished. They're not sacked. They're not punished. You've got Casemiro on 250k a week. Fernandez, I know he's been played out of position, but he's our captain. He's the leader of this club. It is just I am gutted. I am gutted. See the next 3-4 games. Yeah. Who support then? I'm a big fan. Indicator is correct. So Jim said as much. Amorim is a dead man walking. Outreach. So Ben Jacobs has reported it. He exactly. So you're telling me the plan is to sack him and let the new manager first game be Liverpool. Andrew, I think yes. I genuinely do think that this that this club is so stupid. Now, again, if you watch some of the streams, Andrew, that I've done, I've said we'll take 8 points from 8, and Liverpool will be the match that he goes. Indicator do talk out of their arse, but there is some truth in this. The bits of truth that I pick from this are the players want him out. The players are going to down tools. They have said they plan to sack Amorim in the international break, or if the results don't improve. So Indicator, I think, in terms of knowing these secret plans, they're talking out of their arse as they always do. But my view on it is, I think he does walk. I think he does go. You know, if you watch the stream this morning, I've said that Amorim, I think he's already gone. I don't agree with it, but where I do think the truth is that I do think these players are fucking scum. I think these players again have got another manager sacked, and I do believe that there's unrest, and I do believe that they're down tools. I wonder what the payout will be, but that doesn't mean you can't have a constructive opinion. What do you think about Darren Fletcher coming in? No. Declan Fox, I don't know what people's opinions are, but he's not a coach. He's not a coach. We can't have this ex-player not. If Amorim for me was an exciting appointment because it meant we're going to do something different. If we go back to Fletcher, you might as well bring in Southgate. You might as well bring Ollie back. You might as well just accept your position, and you might as well just go. We are a mid-table club, no ambition, and I think Fletcher for me is not the guy. What? If these players, and these are not all the same players, but if these players turned on Ollie, why won't they turn on Fletcher? You know, Ollie was a legend of this club. Maybe maybe some people not, but for me, he is. If these players can turn on him, these players will not respect him. He loses Chelsea, Brentford. I can't back him anymore. JB, regardless of the players, if you can't win 2 games consistently in the Prem, nearly 11 months is not good enough. Again, I can't disagree with you on that one. You know, what I like about that opinion, right, is that you are giving your opinion and you're giving your reasoning why. Whether I agree with that or not, that's inconsequential, right? That's a valid opinion. You know, I'm not calling these opinions for Amorim now. I'm not saying that they're bad opinions. I'm not saying that they're not right opinions. All I'm saying is that Amorim is going to take the entire blame for this. These players will not get sacked. Ineos will not get sacked. This may well sack him now. If there's any truth in this, Amorim will walk away. If I was him, I think he should walk. Back him or the players. Back him all the way. I back the manager. I back him on this one. I really, really do. You know, people may think that's crazy, but I've seen this before. You know, I know these players. I've seen this 100 times from these players. You see it time and time and time again. And whilst the Glazers are not getting the blame for this, the Glazers are being shielded. Let's be clear. In my opinion, this is all down to the Glazers, the toxicity, the debt in the club. We all thought this couldn't get lower. This is getting lower every single season. We're getting worse and worse and worse. Now, I have fought off people saying that we're going to get relegated. I don't think that we will. But what's the next step for this club? What is the next step? When Amorim goes, because he will go, what's next? What's next for this club? Why put that out if it's a secret? Exactly, Declan. Exactly. 8 ball, you're gone. You're gone. Indicator have a deep source inside. Indicator don't have shit, right? I should tell you for why, right? They're so confident in this. This is the line for me that I know that they're talking out of their ass. According to the sources that we have secret plans to sack Amorim in the October international break, or if the results don't improve. So they're covering their arse. They're covering their arse there. Why are United going to put that out to these guys? I do believe that there's some truth in it, but I don't believe that they've got the exclusive on this. They're talking out their arse. They've covered themselves there. He's going to get sacked in the October break, or if results don't improve. So if we go on, and I should tell you for why, in my opinion, why I think he's going to go, is because these players are going to down tools. Now, where I believe the post, I believe it in some senior players are not happy, and they want to get him sacked. Because of that, I think they're not going to play. Now, I think Amorim should call it a bluff. I think Amorim should just go, fuck it. Pick a completely different team, drop Bruno, tell Bruno to fuck off, drop him, remove the captaincy. That's what I would do. Remove it, stick him on the bench, tell him he's never going to play for him again. Luke Shaw, he's gone. He'd never play for me again. Pick players in their position and get these players who are on your side to basically win these next 3 games. If he wins these next 3 games, he buys himself time. I don't believe he's going to win the next 3 games. I don't think he will. If he wins the next 3 games, then he'll survive for a little bit longer. If he picks Fernandes, the moment I see that team, if Fernandes is in number 8, he's gone. Salam from Uzbekistan. Extra bonus if he walks. How are you, Foot? I'm very well. It costs nothing to hit the like button. Exactly. Give us a quick like and subscribe, guys. You guys are fantastic. Even if, as I've been told already, somebody hates me. Yeah, you know. Listen to Amorim on YouTube this morning. He wants to go. I think he won't change the system, which is entirely up to him. I think the players want him out, and which is not a nice thing to do. Wayne, I agree with you, mate. I think these players are fucking scum. I think these players are absolute, and not all of them. I know who they are. They're just dirt. They don't play for this club. You know, whether or not you want Amorim out, right? So this is where I'm at on it. Whether or not you want Amorim in or out, I get that, right? But we're talking about players who are turning on a manager. Not only are they turning on a manager, if they down tools, which they have done, they're turning on fans. They're turning on fans. They're shitting all over this club. They might as well wipe their arse with this club. They might as well take that shirt and wipe it on their arse. They might as well just the disrespect to the fans. That's the bit for me that I can't abide, is these players, no matter what the manager does, he'll get sacked. If Amorim is not great, he'll get sacked, right? His insistence on playing Fernandes at 8 is going to get him sacked, right? These players don't need to down tools for that. If you're a professional player, you don't need to down tools. You should play for yourself. In fact, you should play first and foremost for the fans. You should play for your own pride. These players are not. They would much rather get a manager sacked because it suits them. And will Amorim get sacked? He's not going to survive this. He's not going to survive it. He's not going to survive it. Seriously, who would you prefer as the job? Definitely, I don't know, mate, because unless Ineos decide to do something and basically get rid of more of these players, I don't care. And I'm not just saying it. I genuinely don't care. Go and get fucking Southgate. Go and let Fletcher be in charge. Go and get back Jose. Go and get back Ruud. I couldn't care less. Unless Ineos decide to do something with these players, you can go get Dyche. You might as well just go and get Dyche. Bring back Moyes. Right now, for me, it doesn't matter. Unless these players are changed, and what you will see very, very quickly is the new coach will come into this club, and you don't even get the bounce anymore. You don't even get the bounce anymore. The moment that is player power. These players run the club. Ineos don't run the club. The players run this club. He's going to get 10 mil to be sacked. Shaw should never wear the jersey again. Danny B, I agree with you. I'd pay him off. I don't think it's all on Amorim or the players. Amorim picks the team formation and tactics. He doesn't pick either formation or tactics that suits the squad. I think it's a mixture. I think it's less on Amorim, but he does pick the team. The players want 4-3-3. The players are more powerful. They are. It's pointless sacking him now. Wait until the end of the season. I can see a single decent manager out there that we can go for. I'm with you, Outreach. I think sacking a manager mid-season doesn't help anybody. If this is true and they're going to sack him in October, you might as well sack him now. Sack him now. Just get rid of him now, because what is the point? I don't see the point. Get Xavi. Xavi wouldn't come, mate. Devils never prosper. So he'll. It is not. This is not the channel for that. Amorim is our long-term manager for 20 years. Take it to the bank. Francis, I would love that to be true. I really would. It's not going to happen, my friend. It's just not. I get it. Manager change will improve the situation long term. It gets deep. Exactly, MT. Imagine Garnacho scores and gets Amorim sacked. Do you know what? Red Devil Rose. It's life, isn't it? It's life. It's life. It is life. Danny B has to be a prem. Danny B, I don't think it matters, mate. Mark Williams says stop making excuses for him. Mark, I'm not making excuses, mate. These are the reasons how I see it. Right? How can you have a squad that finished 15th that wasn't his squad? It wasn't his team. He didn't want to take over this team because he knew he's a specialist manager who Ineos haven't bought in players. They bought in 3 players that he didn't need. He wanted a centre midfielder, he wanted 2 centre midfielders, a goalkeeper. But this sporting excellence, this footballing side of Ineos, thought that they knew best and gave him 3 players that he doesn't need. Amorim, where I will concede, Amorim picks this team. As I've said countless times, and I'll continue to say this. Amorim, I've always said this, not selling Fernandes was the death knell in his coffin. He was always going to get sacked. He was always going to live and die on Fernandes. This is why you don't trust these players. You cannot trust these players. He needed to be clearer of the squad in the summer, but the issue is that they pay average players top wages. Exactly. Oh man, enough with the formation. I agree with you. No, Believe was the biggest mistake. Get Xavi in play, Casemiro, Mazraoui, Mainu in 3 as 10. We need to stabilise and get points. Believe we're being linked to Liverpool now. Exactly that. Why is Believe going to want to come to this club now? Exactly. I'll blame Bruno. I don't blame Bruno entirely, but Bruno for me is the captain. 200 million spent. He has a pre-season ousted the bomb squad. Only prepared for 1 game a week. No more excuses. It's not Mark Williams. It's not, mate. It's not. That's your opinion. I get it. I do get that opinion. But he's had a pre-season. But you do know in pre-season, I watched every pre-season game. He had the same fucking team that finished 15th last season. He had Shesko wasn't here. Cunha was here, and that's all he had for the best part of 4 games. He had the same team in pre. If you watch pre-season, you would. If you watch pre-season, you wouldn't be saying this because you would have known he had the same team that finished 15th last season. It is not on him. Anyone take Ollie back for a year than Eddie Howe? No, not for me. Eddie Howe, I don't think would leave. I agree with you. Believer has been linked to Liverpool. I agree exactly. He spent 200 million and wasted it. Simon James. let's be clear on this, my friend. Why are people saying that Amorim spent 200 million? He didn't. Ineos and the football inside spent 200 million. Amorim is a coach. Amorim had the input, and they give him players. Amorim has little decision making. He gets to have an input, but it's a collective. Just because it suits the rhetoric that you're trying to push, doesn't make it true. Respect the opinion. It's the opinion, but it's simply not true. Look at Palace and Spurs, both turned it around. Palace play 3-4-3. Not bad results. Spurs are doing good so far and can't wait for Sunderland too. I have a huge painful name. Thank you for that. I can't help you with that. He's off to Liverpool. I don't disagree. Did Amorim spend 200 million? It was the board. 24% win out of 31 games. That's relegation form. Mark, you can quote these stats, but it wasn't his team. The majority of the losses last season, this is not his team. Like, last season should have been a free hit. It wasn't his team last season. People can use that to hammer him with, and they will. But if you think that someone else is going to come into this squad mid-season and get these lowlifes to play, it is another reason why this situation is not sustainable. Is because these players went him out. Amorim cannot do anything. I think he walks. I just wanted Belieber and Wharton, Mark Williams. If you can't get a result against Brentford or Sunderland, he should be sacked. Mark Williams, I think he will get sacked. I think this post, and I will read the post out again. I think if they truly think people believe that they've got this insider news, it is a pile of shit. But I do believe their theory. I do think the theory is right. I've said it. I've already said this, Mark, that I do believe Amorim gets sacked. I believe he's gone. I don't see a way back. To be honest, I think he's right for the club. I don't think he's right for the club. I don't see his plan. Simon James, again, I can't. I'm not going to disagree with you. How can you have a plan when they're not your players? This club is doomed. Eddie Howe would be amazing. Newcastle, maybe he wants the job. Nah, I don't think he comes, my friend. United can't control the midfield exactly. Tony Pulis, hilarious, Mark. Hilarious. The Bias, I can't wait on the sacking of the next manager to see 1 year, man. Exactly, the Bias, exactly. Haha, Xavi wouldn't go. I don't disagree. Dino Conflict says, what should I do when I get to secondary school? Give me a little bit more than that, my friend. Give me a little bit more than that. I need a little bit more what you're asking specifically. PD can't hear. Arsenal fan here. Benja, legend. Tobias, Zabi will have a mental trauma. I agree with you. Should have got Ancelotti. I don't disagree with that. I think that's true. JB is not going to walk away from £10 million. I don't think he cares. Niche fan, he's already offered to walk twice. Amorim, I don't think is the type of guy who really gives a shit about money. Niche fan, in life, not everybody cares about money. I don't care about money. Like, I don't do this for money. Like, I couldn't care less. Like, people in life are not obsessed with money. The Glazers are obsessed with money. Ineos are. Sometimes your principles mean you've got to walk away. I've walked away from money before, because sometimes your principles are worth more than what the money is. I think he'll walk. Klopp has said he will not manage in England again. I don't want him. Zidane hates England. I agree. Disillusional is strong on this one. I disagree, Mark. I disagree. I respect the opinion, but I also think that if people think that this is on Amorim, I just think that it's. I just think you need to look a little bit more in depth. I can see the both sides. I can see why you're hammering out. I can see why you're hammering in. But if you look beyond the results and you actually look at the grey, then you'll see. I'm starting to back Amrin now because this channel, I'll give him a bit longer. If we ain't got 8 for Christmas, then I want him out. Look, I hope so. I'd give him to Halloween. I don't blame the Glazers. I don't blame the Glazers. They just want money. That means the club needs to pay well and with money. Pedro, mate, I should ban you for that comment though. Look, if you're Glazers fan or whatever you think, that's up to you. But the Glazers are horrific. They are leeches. They are bottom feeders. And they need to be out of this club. Zidane will never come. Exactly. No manager can get a tune out of these players until they get rid of big egos. I agree. But Pep is the best manager in football. How Klopp was Zidane, but I'm okay with Oli for one season. Interesting. Pep was his mentor once, though, not just the league. Klopp used to say the same about Pep. Pep would say about Klopp, it's called respect. Throw millions at Klopp. Nah, not for me. None of these players have the mentality. I agree. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love watching how Pep handles post-game comments with the players on both sides. I don't think he wants to be here any longer. I agree. Klopp is not coming. OP players said hi. Who do you think will win the Champions League, mate? I'm not in it, mate. Real Madrid. A senior player should look for other clubs. PSG will win the Champions League. Bruno is a little girl on the field, always complaining. Bruno is disrespectful. You said not all the players are curious as to which ones you think aren't playing for him or actively. So, for me, the new players. I don't think the new players have been here long enough. Now, I might be completely wrong. This is just my opinion, right? I don't think the new players are trying to get him sacked. Now, when you look at the players that have been here and you look at the previous clicks, and I'm talking about, but also, Andrew, what you've got to appreciate as well is, do you not think Sancho is stirring the pot? Do you not think Rashford is stirring the pot? Do you not think these players that have left on loan are still stirring this pot? Do you not think they talk and influence these younger players in this team? Amorim has shown that he's not messing around and he's kicked these players out. This is my theory. This doesn't mean that it's right. I'm not going to mention players because you never know. But you can guess the players. I think the players that have left are having an impact in still. I think that some of the players that have sacked managers before, and ironically, I think it's the Portuguese contingent. I think Bruno has a really big influence in the club. I think he needs to go. I think, those players that have been here, I think there's a good 3 or 4 players, but what I believe, if you've got 3 or 4 players, that is all you need. That's all you need. That is all you need. And I think there are so many of these players. I think there's at least 4 players, and it destabilises this club. So, yeah. JB, the players don't care about the club like us. They don't. Why are you discussing Sir Jim? He's done so much for this club already. Spent over 500 million. Ali, no, he hasn't. I don't know where you're getting your figures from, but he's not. Sir Jim is so good that he's kept the Glazers in charge and basically fucking this football club up. Ten Hag was a disaster, wasted 300 million on him, sacking people. So if you're telling me that sacking people from their jobs, enabling the debt to still be here, enabling the Glazers in charge, and if you think Sir Jim is doing a good job, people around you, I would probably not trust anything you say. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, that would take years. Big Gary Neville for manager. I blame Sir Jim. never backed Amorim in this first season. I completely agree. We saw how that ended. Just give him 3 first-team players isn't going to work this season. He needed 6. Tobias Conte is a better pick. He's strict and doesn't take Tobias. Napoli, you're not going to get him out of Napoli. Emmy, good evening all and everyone. Hope you're doing well, Emmy. I'm very, very well, my friend. I will tell the tell the guys that you asked after them. Keeper was a second choice. Exactly, he'll be playing soon. The right and the left are controlled. John Michael, my friend, this is not the place or the time for that. Just reading reports now, he's got 3 games. Let's hope that we lose them all. Plus, just reported 12 minutes to sack him, and Arola and Emery first choices. He has won the Premier League though. Costa should have been the keeper. Don't disagree. Both top draw managers. Let's go for the chats. Go back to Quebec. I want Wilcox and Berardi to be sacked. I agree with you. Justice for Ollie. You think Aaron will last by the end of the season? No, I don't. I didn't want this to be true. I don't think he lasts 3 games. I don't want Belieber. I want Wharton. Wharton and mainly in the middle of England. Yes, please. I hope so. Can't even watch the Arsenal game. Still not helping. He's gonna struggling. I don't disagree. 3 hits at United. Let's have a look. I trust you, JB, but I also trust Indicator. I don't trust them. And the line for me, niche fan, is where I don't agree. Is according to our sources, United have secret plans to get rid of him in the October international break, or if results don't improve. Now, if you know either way, then you'd put your. But they don't do that. But I do believe that there's truth in there. I really do. They said Belieber's pushing for the transfer himself. It's not happening. Who's in Indicator? Indicator is it's a sort of one of those outlets on X who get some things right, who have got a little bit of a following now. They're starting to get big, but I think they talk shit. Your squad isn't top 4. You are deluded if you think it is. Come on. Who's saying United squad is top 4? Indicator a bunch of freelance press. They are. Secret source is patience. I agree with you. JB, I love you, but money is everything. Providing you have health, nothing in this life means more than money. Money means more than friends and family. If you have wealth, I disagree, niche fan. I respect the opinion. I disagree. Money is not important to me. You do need money. Money is important, but money is not. Money is the root of all evils, in my opinion. You need money to live. That is a fact of life, but it's not all just about the money for me. Let's go for the chats. Sorry, guys. He needs to go. Emmy, Ineos are great. I respect your opinion, JB, but we disagree on a lot. Ineos are great. I respect your opinion, JB, but we disagree on a lot. Ineos have put 287 million of their own money to rebuild the infrastructure. Emmy, mate, I love you dearly, my friend. Respect you, but again, we can agree to disagree on that one. I disagree. I think Ineos are a scourge on this club. I should tell you for why they've invested £287 million in this club. Fine, right? But that 287 million is going to be worth a couple of billion in 7 years' time when they push ahead with the stadium build. From an accountant's perspective, okay, when you buy an asset, if your asset is basically on the floor and about to die, and you need to change the infrastructure of your asset, you are allowed to spend. And don't think that Sir Jim is not going to get a tax break. Don't think There's 287 million pounds. Is he's given this money to us, and that's his money, right? It is his money, but you do know he gets tax breaks on that. You do know that he's allowed to push that money through, and because he's improving an asset, he'll get tax breaks on it, right? So don't be fooled that he's put his hand in his pocket and it's because of the love of the club. It's not. Also, you have to improve your asset to keep the value up, right? So I have no doubt this 287 million, this 100 million that he spent, it was actually 50 million, not 100 million. So just to be clear, Emmy, it was 50 million, right? Yeah. Okay. Excellent, guys. So, guys, I am going to go. So I'll give you 2 minutes. So, guys, I'm going to go. If anything else does break, I will come back on. I do think this is going to break. I do think that that stuff is going to happen. There'll be more reports tonight. If I do come back on tonight, tell me about it. Honestly, it is ridiculous, right? But yeah, I did plan to go anyway, but you know, obviously I'm being summoned away. You won't be coming back on tonight. The Forest Stand. You'd be surprised, my friend. Guys, I am going to go. It's been an hour. Absolutely fantastic. Amazing stuff, guys. I love the fact that we disagree, we agree on different stuff. You know, it is, it is fantastic. I'm not happy about this, but all I can say is that watch out. Let's see what happens over the next coming hours. I guarantee that we're going to see some stuff. So have a good rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I will be back at some point tonight. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. I'll see you on the next one. Take